By 2050, a billion dreams will live inside India's cities. From the coastlines to the desert plains, these places aren't just growing, they're transforming. Some rise above drought, some fight the sea, and one hasn't even been built yet. In this episode of Earthspective, we explore the cities redefining India's future. High on the Deccan Plateau, Bengaluru sits 900 meters above sea level. Cooler, greener, and often called India's Garden City. But that nickname hides a new struggle. The lakes that once connected like blue veins across the city have shrunk or vanished. Rapid growth has drawn down the water table, and summers now crack the earth like glass. Yet Bengaluru's response isn't retreat, it's reinvention. Rooftop gardens, recycled water systems, and entire buildings wrapped in plants are becoming the new skyline. In a country of rising heat, this city is learning to grow upward while keeping a pulse of green. A digital capital forced to rediscover the wisdom of nature. Further west, the air thickens with heat. Ahmedabad stands where the desert begins, a city shaped by extremes long before climate change arrived. In the hot months, temperatures brush 45 degrees Celsius, yet street life never disappears. Wide boulevards shade under trees, and homes glow white to reflect the sun. The city's new architecture borrows from its old wisdom. Open courtyards, wind tunnels, stepwells, and shaded corridors. It's urban design built not from concrete ambition, but from survival. As India's west gets hotter, Ahmedabad becomes the classroom. It's teaching the rest of the country how to live when heat becomes the new normal. On the opposite end lies a city that never sleeps, because it doesn't have the time. Mumbai breathes between the tides. Its skyline climbs higher each year, while its streets flood lower every monsoon. Sea levels are creeping upward, swallowing coastline millimeter by millimeter. But Mumbai refuses to surrender. Mangroves are returning, sea walls are rising, and elevated train lines now glide above old flood zones. Even the informal settlements, built on risk, show adaptation. Stilted homes, floating schools, community flood alerts. It's chaotic, fragile, alive. The heartbeat of India's economy still echoes between the waves. This is a city that survives by moving faster than the sea. If you're enjoying this journey through India's future, leave a like. It helps more people discover Earthspective. And if you're new here, subscribe. We explore the world's most fascinating places and the human stories shaped by geography. Head inland again, and the noise of the coast fades into the dry hum of the Deccan. Hyderabad rises from rocky ground, half ancient fortresses, half glass towers. The city is an odd blend. IT giants and biotech parks surrounded by old basalt hills and centuries-old lakes. Those lakes are shrinking, but the city is fighting back with technology. Sensor networks monitor water levels, while smart infrastructure maps flood risk before storms arrive. In the old neighborhoods, communities still maintain rainwater tanks that have worked for generations. Hyderabad's identity lies between code and clay, a reminder that modernity and tradition aren't opposites. They're allies when survival demands both. Far to the south, Kochi floats where backwaters meet the sea. The air smells of salt, and the waterline moves like breath. Forward, backward, patient. This port city is one of India's first to truly design for climate resilience. Sea walls curve like gentle armor, and electric ferries hum across flood channels. Kochi's geography makes it vulnerable, but also visionary. Its maritime trade connects it to the world, while its green projects, from mangrove restoration to carbon-neutral ports, set examples for it. Here, every rising tide becomes a rehearsal. The city learns, adapts, and rebuilds with the rhythm of the ocean itself. In India's northeast, where mist curls over the Brahmaputra River, lies Guwahati, a city almost hidden by nature. While the rest of the country braces for droughts and floods, Guwahati sits on a sweet spot, high enough to escape sea rise, wet enough to avoid water stress. Its challenge isn't scarcity, but connection. The new highways threading through the hills and bridges across the Brahmaputra are turning Guwahati into the gateway of India's northeast and into Southeast Asia. Forests here absorb more carbon than the city emits. That alone makes Guwahati one of the quietest climate-safe bets for India's next century. The future might sound like engines elsewhere, but here it still whispers through leaves. And then there's Dholera, a place that doesn't exist yet, at least not fully. In the arid plains of Gujarat, bulldozers carve grids into the dust where India's first planned smart city is taking shape. The vision is bold. Renewable energy zones, underground utilities, sensor-driven transport, and climate-resilient design from day one. Skeptics call it a mirage, an expensive dream in the desert. But every city begins as an idea, and Dholera's idea is simple. Build it right before time forces you to rebuild it later. If it succeeds, it could become a blueprint for the next century, a living prototype of urban India 2.0. India's future won't belong to one city, but to all of them, each learning from its own geography. Bengaluru is building gardens into its towers. Ahmedabad is rewriting heat into habit. Mumbai is racing the ocean. Hyderabad balances code and clay. Kochi listens to the tides. Guwahati guards the green. And Dholera dreams ahead. Together, they sketch a map of a country not just growing, but evolving. And maybe that's the real story. Progress isn't about concrete or height. It's about resilience, the quiet art of surviving your own environment. That's what will redefine India by 2050. This was Earthspective. If you found this journey worth it, leave a like, share it with someone curious about the future, and subscribe for the next story from a changing planet.